would be getting tighter if I move her into further hip flexion. And so I'll show you guys like this, how she's on her back, but also side lying, and why I think it makes more sense side lying. So again, to start, you just take them 90 of hip flexion and 90 of knee, and you just bring them directly across. Their leg should essentially start to be able to get flat on the other leg across the hip without them feeling a heavy stretch. And I feel end range of motion of the muscle, and I can tell by Lizzie's face and giggle that that's tight for her, okay? If I want to be mean to her and assess that's further tightness, I could bring her knee up into further flexion and hip into further flexion, like 140 and like 120-ish, and try to go across, and she gets kind of like stuck right here and feels quite a bit of a stretch. I feel like that's hard to visualize, so if you side lie and face away from me, what we teach these guys in grad school is in order to look at the Piriformis, we'll do 3 different positions. First, we would just do like 45 degrees of hip flexion. Her knee is touching the table and laying on the floor. That means she has adequate length of her Piriformis. As we move up to 90 degrees, I'm expecting Lizzie's knee to probably float off of the table, indicating that she has tightness. So if her hips are stacked nice, she already kind of floats off the table. So say I'm at 45 degrees of the hip, now I'm at like 90. See how her knee is floating? You should, in order to have normal length, not tightened, it should be touching the table. Okay, so that'd be a stretch for Lizzie. Then if I go to full hip flexion, which is like 120-ish, 140, if I take her all the way up here, we see that her knee is gonna suspend even further, indicating that she's tighter with hip flexion. So I try to push her down to the table and she's gonna feel a stretch. So normal muscle length would be knee in contact with the table the entire time. Lizzie feels a stretch when I do that, so I know that she's tight. One other thing to make this even worse or more painful, if you lay on your back, if we just try to get the knee to the other side of the body, which would be doing a little bit of internal rotation and adduction, if I want to make it even more of a stretch, I do this position, which would be like external and internal rotation. Here would be internal, here would be external. I would put her heel to her opposite hip and then pull this into her face. This is probably the most common like Piriformis stretch that you guys did in high school PE or high school track, when you sit and do this, right? And push your knee away. So all these years you've been stretching Piriformis, you just didn't realize it, right? That's the main stretch that we do, okay? So I want you guys to try